Hey parents, welcome to this week's At Home video, which is designed to help you continue the conversation at home. I gotta tell y'all, we had a great kickoff last week. We had a lot of fun. We got to dive into the Word and talk about how heaven parties when one life changes. And that's why we're doing this series called Welcome to the Party. And that's why we are celebrating, because we want to celebrate when Jesus changes lives. That's what we want to be about as a student ministry. That's what we want to do on Wednesday nights. And so that's what we want to encourage our students to do. This week, we're going to be getting into Luke chapter 14, where Luke tells the story of the banquet where a master decides to have a party, sends out invitations, and the people that agreed to come decide not to come and have some pretty bad excuses. And so he goes out and he fills his house with the people from the streets, people from the edge of the city, the people that society said shouldn't belong, now belong. And it's a picture of the gospel in Jesus Christ and what God sent him to do and invite us all into his family and into his party. And that's what we want to celebrate and what we want to focus on tonight. But as you're continuing the conversation at home, there's a couple of things that I want you to talk about with your student. The first one is this: it's priorities. What are you prioritizing in your life above Jesus? Because we see in this passage that there's some people that are prioritizing some things that don't really matter as much as this party does. And so what are the things in your life as a parent? What are the things in the life of your student that y'all can talk about and say, I'm kind of holding this up higher than I should because Jesus should be at that top level, that number one priority? The second thing is this: how can you be a party popper? We're talking tonight about how, man, you can either be a party popper or a party pooper. The people that rejected the invitation, they were party poopers. But we want to be party poppers. And so if we're followers of Jesus, we want to make sure that we are doing all that we can to make sure that the party that we have on Wednesday night to celebrate Jesus changing lives is the best that it can be. And so we want to make sure that we're serving. And so I'm going to challenge our students to find places of service on Wednesday nights within FSM. But how can they do that? Talk to them about what that looks like. Talk to them how you serve so that you can celebrate Jesus and celebrate him changing lives. And then the last thing is this: and on September 5th, in just a couple of weeks, we're going to have our very first one night. If you've never heard of those, it's where we set aside a night and encourage our students to identify one person in their life, one student that they're friends with in their sphere of influence that they could invite to come to church who doesn't know Jesus. And we want to create an atmosphere where they are welcome, where they are celebrated, but where they also hear the gospel, and that's what we're going to do. So as that's getting here in a couple of weeks, man, we've got some invite cards that we're going to be giving out to your students that have the address and the date on the back, and it's got the Welcome to the Party logo on the front. Encourage your student to grab a couple of those and hand them out to some people to invite them. But ask them, who's their one person that they're going to invite to come to church with them on September 5th for one night. I want to encourage you parents as well to think about what would it look like for you to pack your car. Man, fill up every seatbelt that you have in your vehicle and bring students to be part of Wednesday night that night. Whether you have to drive across town or into a different town. If you live in Benton, you might have to drive into Bryant. Live in Bryant, have to drive into Benton or Bauxite or Alexander. What does it look like for you to be on the side of your student in bringing people to church? Because what an encouragement that would be for your student to hear, hey, I'm going to drive as many friends as we can fit in my car. You tell me who we need to get, and we're going to make it happen. We're looking forward to a great night on September 5th. Be praying for that, but be praying for tonight so that God would move, that Jesus would be glorified, that we would celebrate him, and we would see him change lives even tonight. I'm excited about it. Look forward to seeing your student, and we'll catch you later.